This month on HMP, we've covered all but one of the Naked Gun movies. Well, we knew this day would come. Is it indeed the final insult? Welcome to Half-Ass Movie Podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Half-Ass Movie Podcast, a show where we put together a half-ass theme as an excuse to watch movies. My name is Adam Portress, and joining me today, that's not Phil Donahue throwing up in a tuba, it's Sweet Shanta Kovacs from the internet.
We call it the Denver jockstrap.
Oh, Jesus, and it's starting again. Start again,
I thought
everybody.
you were giving me a rim shot.
I know. I was like, wow.
Pa-da-pa.
Adam's really stepping up the support.
Well, listen, don't think that won't happen next week. Now that you put it in my car, you've thrown it back up there, going, I wouldn't mind a rim, every now and then.
Well,
why
you
not?
Still got the soundboard, right? With
yeah, we could make it all happen. And he too hasn't shot anyone in 6 months. Bruce Leslie.
Hey, you know what? Not in 6 months, but the years isn't over yet.
Yeah,
so
listen, we're a little bit more than halfway through. You still have plenty of time. Plenty of time.
I think I even had something prepared to say, but after the talk about the rim shots and stuff, I forgot. It was something about the not since Nosferatu has the silhouette of a character been so important.
We are back, everybody, with the final film in the original trilogy, Naked Gun 33 1/3, The Final Insult from 1994. An amazing year, 1994. We got Leon the Professional, Pulp Fiction, Shawshank, Naked Gun 33 1/3, all of equal caliber.
OJ killed a guy and his wife.
So we had one final good thing to send him out on and be like, thanks, Juice.
Oh, man. Imagine if the White Bronco was on the news like 2 weeks before this was released.
Well, yeah, let's either. Well, what did this movie make? I didn't really look at the box office.
50 million altogether, basically 50 million. And I'm wondering if the reason why that is because of all of the real life stuff that happens 3 months later. I'm going to guess that probably had something to do with it.
Let's go watch the movie and see if we can see the killer on screen and like go, oh, you see in that scene right there, I can see it in his eyes. He would murder somebody. I can see it.
It might be the reason they didn't go all evil bong with the sequels.
Did you guys hear how much the original, the new Naked Gun, where it's at?
No, where are we at now?
It's about to inch towards $80 million. That's crazy.
Not too shabby for a movie that didn't really kind of like spark and be the big kind of hit that I would guess they would really have wanted, but like it seems that it's kind of had that sturdy little pace there, so that's nice.
It's about to be the second most biggest box office for a Naked Gun movie compared to all the other Naked Guns. That's crazy, man. $80 million for that movie. There's no way, they made their money back twice already.
That's pretty sweet. Yeah,
great.
Looks like we're going to be getting another one of those. And honestly, after that movie, I'm
all for it.
Yeah, I'd love to see another one of those. And we'll talk about how how I wish they would have addressed something in that sequel. But we'll get to that a little bit later. But before we do want to remind the people that this here show is streaming live on YouTube and Facebook and Kick and all kinds of places, man. And we are, as of this recording, I think we are less than 45 people away from 20,000 subscribers on YouTube. So by the time that you hear this tomorrow, it's probably going to be there. So we're very excited about that. Thank you guys so much for all of your love and support. And if you haven't yet, man, do us a big giant favor. Hit that like and subscribe button and hit the bell notification because we've got new stuff that's coming out. There's a version of this show that's beyond just us talking. We have so many different ways for you to enjoy HMP. First and foremost is your OG way, right? On your podcast device of all, wherever you go, that's always been there, always will be there. You've got the live stream that you've got right now, so you can either watch that live, as we've got several people doing at this moment, or you can watch this live stream later. However, on Monday evenings, I drop in a full edit of HMP, so it's a little bit more dynamic than the regular live show that you got here with just static images of us and everything. It kind of goes back and forth. It's a little bit more interactive, and if you're more of a visual learner and everything, I think the full edit show would do quite well for you. I'm pleased with the product that we're putting out, and it sounds like other folks are as well.
I feel like we're only 18 months away from our big Broadway musical. I mean, of course, we'll open in the West End in London just to get our feet wet.
Yeah.
And then we'll go to Broadway.
You don't want to like dive in too big right away. Let's just get smart with ourselves, everybody. So if you do want to join us out for that live stream, that it's 8 p.m. Eastern on Sundays and everything. It's probably not going to be the same next week, so just stay tuned. But the best way you can do that is hitting that like and subscribe button and that bell notification, so when we do go live, you'll know exactly when that is, and you can be one of the dirty babies over there in the chat. And if you are one of those dirty babies, boy, oh boy, you might as well just drop us a little bit of a super chat and get yourself, let's see if I can hit the right one.
Fortress Bucks.
That's for anything $10 or over, but if anything underneath that, we just got to get you the Fortress pennies.
Fortress pennies, watch how they shine.
Oh, everybody loves
oh, my
it.
word.
So, you know.
That is the worst.
Oh, man.
That is the
think
worst.
there's some kind of New Orleans voodoo curse gets unleashed every time you play it.
Yeah, you ever seen Casper? That's like the vibe I get with it. It's bad. But
That is a nightmare, that song.
So-
You ever seen that movie Skeleton Key? That's the song.
Skeleton. What a wild and interesting, what an odd choice that. I hate that movie. That movie sucks so bad. But if you'd like to join on those super chats, we'd love to hear that as well. And if you can't do that, man, like I said, just whatever. Patreon.com/HMP. That's what I meant to say, because those people get pre-show, post-show, Dinger Zone. And on the Dinger Zone this week, we will be talking about our September rollout, man. We have 5 weeks in September and a boatload of movies to cover in that, and we want to share those all with you and how we're excited for those films. So if you want to get a little sneak preview on all the things that we're coming up and watching in the month of September, check that out over at patreon.com/HMP. Or if you're on the live stream right now, listen to the end, and after the show and everything, we'll do our regular Dinger Zone, and then I just chop that right out come the next day so nobody else gets to see it. Ain't that fun?
That list of dirty babies is beautiful. I love just how many folks are latching on to our silly little show here. So we would love to have more people aboard the Dirty Baby Daycare. What do we call it?
Ooh, I didn't think about calling it a
Crib?
daycare.
Come on into the dirty crib, the filthy crib for dirty babies. That's what we got.
So patreon.com/HMP. Links for all of those fun things are in the show notes. Well, boys, let's jump into it. We've gone through all of our fun Naked Gun things. Let's get to Naked Gun 33 1/3, the final insult. And if I can get it up on the board here. Let's go with the IMDb plotline, because as we know, IMDb always 100% correct in everything they say and or do. Frank Drebin comes out of retirement to help police squad infiltrate a gang of terrorists planning to detonate a bomb at the Academy Awards. This is written again by Pat Proft, sure, David Zucker and Robert Lokash. This is directed by Peter Siegel, who I think most people know best from Bikini 2, The Saga Continues. But he also did not 1, not 2, but 3 Tom Arnold The Naked Truth specials. You guys remember those, right? He would go on to do Naked Gun 33 1/3. That would be his first big film. But then he would jump on the next year to do Tommy Boy. That's pretty sweet right there.
That's
Yeah,
all right.
I like Tommy Boy, man.
Then he'd
I
go-
had a good time with that.
Yeah, then he'd go on to do My Fellow Americans with Jack Lemmon and James Garner. He'd also direct The Nutty Professor 2, The Clumps. And while I was watching that movie on a prom night, I knew with that girl that she was going to dump me. And, so that's what I remember that movie. I was just, we're sitting there after prom watching The Clumps 2 on her couch and everything, and I'm like, this girl's breaking up with me. And I was right, brother. It was like like she rode me to the prom, and that was it, and then it was just gone. It was like, all right, he's out of here. But then he'd have this long run with the Sandman. He'd do Anger Management, 50 First Dates, The Longest Yards. Then he'd go on Get Smart, The Grudge with Stallone, and most recently 2 My Spy movies with Dave Bautista.
Wow.
So the guys,
right, that new one's
were
coming
2
out.
My Spy movies.
The new one's coming out. It's
Yeah.
not even out yet.
he's getting on it, man.
Hell.
Yep.
This, of course,
I got
again.
another reason to get out of bed tomorrow night.
Still working, baby.
Yeah, they got to do those quick, man. That girl's growing up. This is starring Leslie Nielsen, Priscilla Presley, George Kennedy, O.J. Simpson, Fred Ward, Randall Tex Cobb, Kathleen Freeman, Anna Nicole Smith, Raquel Welch, Morgan Fairchild, and Florence Henderson. They just wanted a bunch of hot chicks around, I think. We got Earl Bowen from Terminator 2, a ton of celebrity cameos that are actually kind of surprising. And we've also got Vanna White and, as per our usual arrangement, Weird Al Yankovic. Now, I've never actually seen this movie before. I was fairly certain, but for whatever reason, I feel like I saw a gajillion ads, and it felt like I saw this movie previously. I think I saw so many ads for this thing back in the day that it was just like, oh, I know this movie. I didn't know.
I think this might have been the first time I've seen this.
Sean?
I've seen this before. I had seen this probably when it came out to VHS later on home video. I remember at the time thinking, oh, well, it was a good run.
It's like, well, they put final in the name, so I guess they kind of landed it. Yeah.
And I will say this. I think that I keep using the term diminishing returns when it comes to the Naked Gun movies. You know, the first one, unimpeachable. The second one it's fine. And then I always thought the third one was the worst one of the three. It still is, but it's not nearly as bad as I thought it was going to be. I thought that it was going to be something where I was just watching it the entire time like, but I wasn't. It's something where if you have it on in the background, it is not going to offend you. It is not an incredibly loud movie. And it's fine. The movie is fine. I was kind of surprised.
I'm not saying this just to get a reaction, I promise. But I found this movie to be more intellectually stimulating than the second one. Or more mentally stimulating, I should say. I thought more watching this one than I did for the second one. This one connected with me in a way the second one didn't. I laughed hard at stuff I'm not proud about laughing at, but I'm sure we'll get there.
Well, that goes for normal for you, though, right?
I think
I usually have no shame at what I laugh at, but I laughed at a few things here. I'm gonna have to confess. It'll feel like a confession.
there's a few things that are different about this third one than the first two. Like, for instance, you don't have an actor as the bad guy in this movie who just feels like it's kind of surprising they didn't use Shatner. Right. Like it feels like they totally probably should have used Shatner for the third one, but he had already worked on Airplane 2. Maybe that was the reason why not. I don't know. But so that part was cool. I think that they're doing even more of the, like date movie, that kind of thing in this movie where you really do see the connective dots between Naked Gun to those terrible parody movies that they kept running for 10 years. Like, in the second Naked Gun, I kept complaining about how there's too many of those cutaway shots of people's reactions to things happening. Yeah. And there is just as many in the third one. The new thing that's in this third one that the second one doesn't have, that are in all those terrible movies, parody movies, is they are now doing the thing where they're just mentioning other movies, and that's supposed to be enough for a joke. I'm thinking about like the moment where Fred Ward starts laughing like Beavis and Butthead. Like, that's not a joke. That's not a joke.
Hey, this thing that's popular right now?
Something exists.
Yeah.
Are you saying that maybe this is Seth MacFarlane's favorite Naked Gun movie?
Because he just goes and hits those references. I like it.
I just might be. I think that there are a few things in this movie that are fun to see. Like, once you learn that George Kennedy was sick for a lot of the filming of this, like he had like the honest to God like flu, and so there's a lot of him just sitting around, and you could tell what scenes are the ones where he was sick in. Like, that's super fun. That's super fun to watch.
I do love that we live in a world where Frank Drebin is retired, but Ed's still working.
That is funny.
Plays his cards right. He was good with investing and stuff like that. So his 401k just real nice.
I also go ahead.
I was just going to say that this movie is from a time period where the trilogy was still sort of a holy franchise structure. So there was no franchise needed more than 3 entries, other than maybe James Bond. That's a discussion for later on in the show, perhaps.
Rocky was at a couple at this point.
They really had to get to everything they had to say in this one. I mean, they had to take on gender roles, gender identity, the prison system, Hollywood. They couldn't leave anything on the table, and it kind of has that kitchen sink feel. But I kind of like a kitchen sink feel every once in a while. I don't want it every day because that would be too much, but I don't think I'd ever seen this before, so it felt a little fresh. Seemed ahead of its time to me. We'll get into that. Not necessarily that being ahead of your time is a good thing, it just felt a little ahead of its time.
But
I think that I did not realize that the shadow box with Frank's shoes and gun and like his clothes and it's hung up on the wall. I didn't realize that that was from the original Naked Gun. So when we see the new movie of Naked Gun and that's up on the wall, I'm wondering how many people realize that that's from 33 and the third in the first place. Because I sure as hell didn't.
no.
Yeah, it went over my head too, but I love stuff like that.
It was neat to see. It was almost like an Easter egg in a movie that it wasn't supposed to be an Easter egg for, where you're like, oh, that is from the new one. Like it was kind of neat.
And at the same time,
Whether
too,
it's
though,
for
the
good
best
or-
part is when they're watching the new one and everything, it's only the Naked Gun 33 and a third nerds that are going, ooh, 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 ooh.
And whether it's for good or ill, Nordberg's picture frame really did steal that scene.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Was J. Edgar Hoover still up though? Because I chuckled at that.
I do like. I think Sean's right though. Like while watching this entire thing, it really started to feel like they were giving the kind of structure that would come to all of these parody movies and stuff. It feels like we're just shy of doing that in this movie, but they're like, well, we can put it inside of a Naked Gun movie and that'll be perfectly fine. You almost expect a completely another sketch to end up starting up. Almost Kentucky Fried Movie-esque going on in this movie. It's not super bad, but you can definitely see them, planting those seeds for future films.
It's
I
funny.
wondered.
Go ahead.
I apologize. Okay, I wondered if like the constant movie references and because they weren't really the kind of movie in the first two to just straight up do parodies of movies you've seen. And I wonder if they justified it to themselves creatively or artistically doing that has now become kind of a low-hanging fruit thing by saying, well, what we're doing in this one is taking on Hollywood, with the big finale being at the Academy Awards. And maybe they thought that had some more creative inspiration to it than what it might appear like now.
I think that the issue is that you're running into the problem with these movies at this point that Marvel runs into, where now it's not Zucker, Abrams, and Zucker anymore. It's basically one Zucker. Abrams is off doing Hot Shots, and so you have that Pat Proft guy, the guy who came in later for the original Naked Gun, and he's kind of the guy that links everything together to the point where we're at Date Movie at some point.
Yeah,
that's the same guy. And so whatever artistic merit you think Naked Gun has is basically on the one brother, Jerry. I think we learned last week. Jerry was basically the force of like coming up with new ideas of like, we should shoot this in a way that looks cinematic instead of we look like we're on back lots and it looks like a TV show. I think this third one here is the most TV looking of the Naked Guns. And so when you go backwards and you look at that original Naked Gun and you can see just how cinematic that first one is, it's kind of shocking with just how much that changes over the course of, 12 years? These three movies were made within a course of 12 years.
Yeah.
6 years.
6 years. So it's kind of surprising that, they really have gotten to a point where they're not doing this because they love this anymore. They're doing this because they can make a little bit more money out of this franchise.
Yeah, it's going to the well one more time and everything with it. And at least they had the courtesy to kind of give us the old man Frank story, as it were. It's like
right.
at least we're finally starting to realize, yes, Leslie Nielsen is an older gentleman, and we can't be doing this for too much awful long. And at least there's another avenue with which that we can kind of try to explore a little bit within this. And I think that's a little bit fun, kind of starting out him trying to get away from the world of police and everything like that. It's, again, none of it is fantastic. You're never slapping your knee, but you're never super offended by how unfunny it is. You never feel that. I never felt like I was just, mad at them for what they gave me.
A couple of times I did feel that because I am comedy broken, as you both well know. But it comes at the expense of the thing that has basically ruined comedies in movies for the last however long, where just because you're referencing something doesn't make it a joke.
Yeah.
And that is rife throughout this movie.
Something that I'm enjoying, though, is it feels like it's referencing things I know didn't exist at the time it was made. Maybe that's a little bit of what I mean when I say ahead of its time. But this whole intro with Frank trying to adjust to his homemaker life makes me think of Mr. Incredible at the beginning of The Incredibles. I really couldn't help but kind of feel like this is a whole lot like funnier over the top version of that. Even with, Jack and their quest to have a baby being in here, which for the record, I'm on Frank's side. That guy don't need to be bringing nobody new into this world, man. Let him go ahead and die in the next 3 to 5 years of old age. Then Jane can move on if her 58-year-old ass really wants to have a baby.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I'm just calling it the way I see it.
No.
I love the absurdity of these two AARP members talking about whether or not they're going to start a family, having baby fever. Priscilla had already had an adult child at this point.
Priscilla looking good.
What's that Patton Oswalt joke? Let me elaborate what that might look like by pushing this butterball turkey through these gray curtains.
I'm not familiar with that reference, but I like it.
She's great. Like I was, in all of these movies, Priscilla Presley looks like she's at least having like a really good time. It looks like she wants to be there in all of these movies. So that's a big plus, because I could imagine being like a second banana to Liam Neeson in these films and stuff like that, and being the lady, and probably not having the best of parts comparatively and all that kind of stuff could probably make it go like, I don't really want to be in. But she's very much game for all of the stuff, and it continues on in this movie, and it just seems like, she's having a good enough time with what she's doing.
And she understands the assignment too. Like she gets where she is. She knows who she's supposed to be. And that's literally, on our text chain, I was like, hey, here's my take on this movie this week, which is, I think that because they made all of those terrible parodies with Leslie Nielsen, where like for years after, like Wrongfully Accused and, like Spy Hard and all these terrible, terrible parody movies.
I think the Dracula Dead and Loving It is the one that always sticks out in my head.
That one sucks too. I mean, they're all just really, and that's Mel Brooks, for God's sake, and it still sucks. But like, I think that if you wanted to show someone in let's say 97, right, that your Leslie Nielsen parody movie is better than the other terrible Leslie Nielsen parody movies, hire Priscilla Presley. It's not like you're going to be spending a fortune for the lady to get her to act in your movie. She can't cost that much money. And also they work really well together, those two actors. I really love seeing them around each other in these films. Maybe they hate each other. I don't know.
It feels like they've got really good chemistry.
It does.
The one thing I would say about Priscilla Presley, she probably did not work one day more a year than she wanted to. You may not realize that she inherited a large estate once.
Who's this?
I
from?
don't.
She's financially independent.
What did she do before the Naked Gun series?
Stock investor.
Her dad had a hardware store or something.
Oh,
I don't know. It's in
see.
Memphis.
Cool. Sounds good.
Graceland used tires or something.
She ran a lot of Ace hardware stores. You know how it is. You just start accumulating that bread.
And so, I mean, that's what these producers making these terrible parody movies are trying to do anyway. They're trying to like suck what little marrow is left in them bones to be able to bring people and put asses in the seats for a terrible Leslie Nielsen parody movie. Why don't you bring in Scylla? And that way you can show, hey, we're a little bit better than those other terrible parodies. Our terrible parody movie is this much better.
Hey, sometimes that's all you need.
I had an interesting watch through thinking about like themes, especially between the second and third one, like an abrupt change in themes. No matter how silly or wacky your parody movie is, if it's, trying, it's going to have some kind of theme. So just boiling that down, the second one with the whole environmental theme, I would say the theme there is we maybe should be a little more socially conscious. This one feels like it's saying, hey, maybe we need to hit the brakes on how socially conscious we are. I mean, that's how I feel. This feels to me, and I'm using this phrase just because it's in the vernacular and I don't have to explain what I mean when I say it. This feels like an anti-woke movie way before those terms woke and anti-woke came around. It feels like just in the 3 years between 2.5 and 33 and a third, some people had gotten fed up with maybe the performative feminism in Hollywood based on the titles of these movies that are all nominated for Best Actress and Best Picture, and then the whole Thelma and Louise homage that they have in there, and you know, the courtroom stuff. Everybody's got a baby but her. That feels like that Baby Boom movie, if you ever saw that.
No, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what that one is.
A working woman has to choose between being a mom or having a career. A story that's never been told.
I was about to say, hasn't that been kind of since?
I mean,
well, this was like 1986.
Working Girl, Baby Boom, like they're all interchangeable. They made 7 of those. She's having a baby. You know, like they're all interchangeable.
Impressive shoulder pads in each of those entries.
Well, there are indeed.
That goes without saying, I think.
You know, I want to say this, which is that they did the right thing, and I didn't realize just how right it was to not start your new Naked Gun movie, meaning the one that we just saw in the movie theater a month ago, by starting off with the flashing light, because I think that if that had started this new movie, I think, especially after having watched these 3, I would have been like, oh, come on. But the fact that they put it at the end, so you kind of miss it.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, that was a really, especially now after watching 3 of these, where it's like, look, you guys, you've done it. You've made a 5-minute bit in 3 separate movies with a joke that's kind of funny in the first one.
Yeah. we drag it on, and then we kind of keep doing it, and more and more and more and more and more and more.
I love the way the Legacy sequel handled things, because they were there for, let's say, the more neurotic viewer like myself, who needs to know that they're aware of the history, but they don't let the history drag the movie down.
Right.
And that seemed to be something that they had, going for that movie, indeed, was that they had that balance of like, hey, we know enough of the old stuff, but we're not going to just be hanging our hats on that and that alone. This, though, feels like they're trying to go out, but again, like Sean said, they're trying to go out towards that more parody thing. I mean, so much so, like the first 5 minutes of this movie is them just recreating the Untouchables.
And look, I get it. Isn't this hilarious that they keep adding more baby carriages? Like they just keep adding more and more and more. But when you're 10 minutes into the same joke, it's just like, come on, guys, we need to move on. And
it's also kind of cool to me, just in a way like, oh, did you know kind of way. But like their pretty good attempt at sort of parodying, recreating The Great Escape now almost plays like they were parodying Shawshank, which came out the same year, which I just don't think it's possible that they could have been doing that, but it really feels very Shawshank too, so I love that.
I wonder, did they play The Great Escape music cue? I feel like they might have.
That's a good
They
question.
definitely played a fill-alike if it wasn't the
if it wasn't the real one, it was definitely one that they wanted to make you think it was that, because it was very Great Escape-esque. It's like you just like you felt like a lot of the parodies were just coming out and smacking you hardcore. Like, I mean, I didn't hate it, but like the Jurassic Park one, for example.
Oh, that's awful.
It's not great, but like, it's like comparatively to some of the other stuff.
Oh, the Jurassic Park thing was so bad. I had to tell myself they're parodying like The Land That Time Forgot.
It's
like,
so
I couldn't
bad.
tell me they're parodying Jurassic Park.
Hey, it's got an old man in it, though. Don't you know? It's an old man. He's a dinosaur. He's old.
The cup of water is shaking. Remember that from Jurassic Park?
I love stop motion. But you can't parody Jurassic Park with stop motion.
No.
And you were so close to it as well. It's like you were just 1 year removed from Jurassic Park, and like, listen, I'll grant you for as much as you got it looking, that much like Jurassic Park when you doing it and whatnot, but still, oh boy, little
also,
rough.
Also,
The
this is eating me up because I wrote this note down and I got to talk about this, which is it's early on. You see Frank, he's doing like chores around the house and stuff, and he's wearing an apron. Hilarious. But there is nothing lamer. There is no bigger death blow to a movie. There is you are signifying to your audience that you never plan on having sex ever again with a comedy movie more than when there is a needle drop of Huey Lewis in the News. It's hip to be square. If you play that song, what you are signifying to me is I don't plan on getting pussy anymore. My life is over sexually. I think that this song is really cool, and it's we're gonna be able to move. That is a death blow. It doesn't even have to be a comedy. It can be anything. If it is in anything, and it's not being used ironically, you have killed your movie.
Do you like Huey Lewis in the News?
It's the comedy movie equivalent of wearing a wizard hat as an adult.
And if there's any one of us that knows anything about that topic, it's one Bruce Leslie.
I saved money on a vasectomy and bought a wizard hat.
My wife don't want to have no more kids. She's like, oh God, we got to stop it where she lies. It's amazing we got these out. Let's not tempt fate any further.
I'm tired of the opposite sex being attracted to me. Let me put Huey Lewis in the News on the hip to be square on this jukebox, on this here jukebox.
Here's the thing, Bruce. He's more of a I want a new drug kind of guy. That's his problem.
Look, that song is bad also. But if you're playing that song in a movie, it's one of two things. You're either trying to signify to someone that I'm using this ironically, or it's something where it's being used the opposite way, right? Like that Christian Bale movie where he plays the serial killer, because he's listening to "I Want a New Drug" at some point in that movie, I think, and I was like, oh, that's a really good use of that song here.
Are you guys familiar with patch testing in terms of like allergies, medicine, things?
Yeah.
You put a small amount of something, see if there's a reaction, and that's how you know if that substance or medicine.
I've had to do it.
I think I've seen Dr. Hibbert with one of those guns on The Simpsons. I hate to say that's how I know what you're talking about, but I'm fairly certain I saw it on The Simpsons.
Back in my single days, I would have a relationship patch test where I'm like, okay, this is feeling like it has the potential to get serious before we need to go any further.
What do you think of the blob?
About me. Here, let me put on some of my favorite music, and I hit up the Weird Al selection on the computer. And after that, if they're still interested, then I know we're going to be okay. But like Weird Al was my hip to be square, I guess. If you can make it through that, you can make it through anything.
And three
and
children.
That's my tie
he
into
has.
this movie. Weird Al, he was at this show.
Hey, there you go.
Oh, I do love, once again, this time he loves to impersonate a musician to get access to something. He's impersonating Weird Al instead of Enrico Palazzo. I'm far more familiar with Weird Al's oeuvre, so I know that he is in fact a real musician.
I don't buy this Enrico
For
Palazzo
those of
character.
you who don't know what Bruce is talking about here, Bruce was certain that Enrico Palazzo was he thought he was one of the three tenors.
I thought he was the third tenor with Placido Domingo and Luciano Pavarotti, because nobody can ever remember the third guy. So I was like, oh yeah, it's Enrico Palazzo. And people know follow-up questions. I said that for years, and people are like, oh yeah, you're right.
Well, that's the thing. The majority of people, certainly Americans, how many are really going to be like, I'm sorry, but that is not the opera singer with which you speak of, sir. You know nothing. Most Americans just going to go, yeah, that sounds right. That's a funny name.
Yeah, I looked it up. The actual guy is Jim Bob Turner. I had no idea.
Yeah, it's weird. You wouldn't think that'd be a regular Italian name, but every now and then.
Hey,
it's spelled with G's and I's and stuff. That's just how you pronounce it. Jim Bob Turner.
My next thing, right? So like the hip to be square, I've said my piece. I am assuaged. The next thing that made me insane is Fred Ward, who I love.
Fred Ward's amazing.
I love Fred Ward. He is in countless things where I'm like, is Fred Ward the best thing about this movie? And then I have to answer my own question and go, yes, he is. However, in Naked Gun 33 and the third, Fred Ward knows he's in a comedy.
Yeah.
And it makes me insane. And so there's two things happening at the same time. One, it's the reason why Leslie Nielsen is so great in these movies is he never behaves like he's in a comedy. And so that's kind of the problem is Fred Ward is not doing the straight faced. And the second thing is it's Fred Ward, who is awesome. Why didn't someone pull him aside and say to him, listen, you have to behave like this is not a comedy.
Yeah.
It's a 2-minute conversation.
I had almost the exact same notes there, Sean. And I even said, like, Fred Ward is great doing a comedic performance, but that's just not this movie's gimmick. It's not this movie's shtick. But, you know, I love Fred Ward, and I think that he did great in isolation. It just doesn't match with what we've been given to expect out of this franchise. But I always enjoy him when he's in stuff. He's got a face that tells a story. He's almost got like that look like maybe he should be a little more famous, if that makes sense.
I want to blame everything on Remo Williams. Because if Remo Williams was a bigger movie, he'd be a bigger actor.
That should be his memoir title. Blame it on Remo Williams.
Hey, but I feel like if he is a bigger deal, he's not in Tremors, and then we lose that. And I don't want to lose Tremors. I don't want to lose the first Tremors movie. It's amazing, and you don't
get the 12th one without the first one.
Well, I knew you were going to bring that up because
we don't get all the other gems.
That is a Bruce Leslie staple. But the first Tremors is a remarkable movie for what that movie is. It's kind of perfect, and I think that he's the best part of that movie. And there's a lot of great performances in there, but Fred Ward has the toughest job of anyone else in that movie. And it's great.
And he is so good.
He is so good in it.
Yeah.
You can feel the desert on him when he's acting in that movie. It's so good.
And, you know, watching that first Tremors movie, nobody realizes that this will become Michael Gross's career franchise. Like the work he's gotten from that is amazing.
You're not wrong. And he does not want, I think that might be the reason why there's never been a Family Ties reunion, is he hates that character so much, right? Am I right on that?
I don't know. I mean, how long could a reunion take? I mean, they're not talking like an ongoing series, right?
No, they're talking about
weeks.
like you know how like Entertainment Weekly used to do that thing where like, hey, we brought the actors back for photos. He won't even do that. He won't even do that.
I would think he would enjoy it. I don't know, man. What do I know about things? He loves his model trains. He loves his graboids. What else does he need?
I don't get it.
These kids and their model trains.
That's the name of his memoir, Model Trains and Graboids. Don't call me Mr. Keaton.
You mentioned it at the top of the show, Portress, but like, and the actor Earl Bowen is in this, and he's shocker of shocks. He's playing a therapist.
What? Like they're just like, we need a middle-aged white man to be a therapist. Well, I've got this guy.
I literally asked out loud to no one when he's in this movie as yet another therapist. Does this guy only play therapist? I couldn't remember if he played any other parts, because I know he's in like The Nutty Professor as a therapist. He's in all three of the Terminators as a therapist. He's in this as a therapist. I'm sure he has some giant body of work, but I'm looking him up now. He is, well, one, he's dead.
What?
Yeah.
He's one of these guys. Look, okay, let's go closest to the pin.
Like a
Bryn.
therapist in the sky.
I'm gonna say 2003.
Oh, you think
Bruce?
Any guess?
On what year he died?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, that's kind of morbid. 2007.
you prepare to be amazed, boys. 2023.
Holy smokes. Wow.
Yeah.
Good for him.
You know,
That's
Yeah.
a big time
therapy
run.
paid off.
All
Now,
that
granted,
therapy paid off.
He
exactly.
probably also has looked, 47 years old since he was 27, I would imagine. So
You're probably right on that. But looking through his filmography here, he did a lot of video games by the end of his life, which I get. He's got that great voice.
yeah, good voice.
Yep, doing a lot of voiceover work in the 2000s. He's in going backwards. It is a lot of voiceover. Man, he has.
That's
I mean,
that sitting at home money, baby. Woo! He probably got his own little recording studio there and everything. They just send him the script and he just bangs it out and sends it right in there. The check just keeps on rolling.
294 credits as an actor.
Holy smoke! We'll talk about a bucket of wind for this guy, man. Oh man!
Mhm.
I got some cameo questions, if that's okay.
Like word up questions? What do you mean?
That's the what? No, more like Chunky A. They're their best friend. Anyway, Pia Zadora.
Yeah.
Which you have to
Pia's
say
a-
her full name. You can't just say Pia. That don't make no damn sense. You're like, who the hell are we talking about? You have to say Pia Zadora, full name.
Was she famous for anything other than being famous? Because I just grew up with her as like a guest on talk shows, variety shows. Maybe she made some appearances on Hollywood Squares. I don't know. Like back before we had this world of internet influencers, we still had these people that were just kind of famous.
Yeah,
and I
like
think Pia Zadora is one of them.
If you were like the next door neighbor on a sitcom in the 70s, you were going to be on every game show forever. Pia Zadora, the thing that I know about her is that her husband was loaded, like multi-million. It might even be her dad, not her husband.
Okay.
And they basically paid her way into like roles and things like that.
Taylor Swift.
It's sort of a Paris Hilton thing.
A little bit, yes. And so, like, I'm kind of surprised with how game she is in this movie, because knowing that about her is that they basically paid her way into having a career, sort of. But it surprised me that, like, oh, she's literally singing this.
Well, she
Like,
also
this is
gets
her
like
singing.
I think that she probably took it because it's a really big number.
Yeah.
She's very much involved. Like it is, we call her name out very specifically. It's all centered around her and the fun with the wig and stuff. It's going to be something that's very memorable for the movie. And I bet that's how it was kind of sold to her. She's like, oh yeah, that sounds good.
Sure.
And who wouldn't want to be in the front of this? And that's what, again, when we get to kind of the third act, is that like having all of these celebrity cameos was kind of shocking. I thought, oh, we're going to be at the Academy Awards and we'll come across maybe, 3 or 4 people. We came across a large handful of like well-known celebrities.
I was expecting all those cheesy lookalikes that don't really look that much like the celebrity that a lot of these parody movie things would put in the crowd. and
Like
stuff.
when
Kinda
Clinton
like how they
came
had
on.
the Queen. Huh?
Like when
Oh, yeah,
Clinton
like-
came on in this.
Yeah, or like when the Queen in the first one, or George Bush in the second one. I thought most of our Hollywood celebrities would be people we didn't know of doing impressions of celebrities that weren't very good.
And son of a gun, James Earl Jones shows up, and you're like, "What? They got James Earl Jones for
crazy.
this? That's nuts."
Crazy. But again, he had even said in the past though, like, look, if you can pay my price, I'll come
That's
in.
very true.
I'll do your 10 minutes, but you don't own me.
But at the same
I'll just
time,
do
too,
this.
and I don't know if people know this, but I want to give a little posthumous kind of pat on the back to our good friend James Earl Jones. James Earl Jones did not go to comic book conventions or sci-fi conventions or any of that stuff, and it wasn't because that he didn't want to go. He didn't want to have people pay exorbitant prices for his autograph. He refused to do that. So throughout his life, I think almost up to the end, if you sent him, a picture and everything with your prepaid envelope and everything back, he would sign your stuff and send it back.
I heard he was just afraid of David Prowse.
I'm sticking Jones with the postage. Take that, James Earl Jones.
I'm not turning that back in. No, sirree, Bob. This is
I
going
want to
to
send you a picture COD. You can sign it and keep it. It's a picture of me.
So I just looked it up. So Pia Zadora's rise to fame was largely driven by a media engineered push in the 80s after her marriage to multimillionaire, I'm going to butcher that name, so I'm not going to say it, but it was her husband pushed
Josadora?
to make her famous. And so that's what happened, which is crazy, man.
It feels, that's the famous for that. That is that era's equivalent of an influencer. I can't think of any other way.
Hey, listen, man, we are not too far off from this happening in today's modern age, because what's his nut there? Jeff Bezos is basically the new Charles Foster Kane with his wife, trying to get him and her and everything. She's like, hey, she could be a Bond girl. It's like, you need to shut your mouth right now, sir.
Yeah, with
at least he doesn't own James
face,
Bond yet. Wait.
With that cat face she's got, she'll look great. She'll look great on the big screen.
We're gonna send her in a spaceship.
Oh, I totally forgot about this. When Pia Zadora was a child, she appeared in a movie. Any guesses? We've all seen it. All three of us have seen this movie. Take a guess. It is famous for being a terrible, terrible movie.
Joker 2, Folio Duke.
She wasn't a child then. She was a full-ass adult.
Oh, I not so good with time.
One of those mad world kind of dealies.
Santa Claus Conquers the Martians.
Oh my! Oh, that's right.
I bet she gets top billing in that now when they like.
I would imagine
that public
she
domain.
Does.
Yeah,
I would imagine she does get top billing. Yes,
because it used to be like the midnight movie around Christmas on whatever the dinkiest local station you had, and I bet it was starring Pia Zadora.
Her name is up big in the credits for sure.
Oh,
is it?
For sure.
That's another Leslie fact, man. You can take that with you, and you go, "Hey, you know who's in Santa Claus Conquers?"
I had totally forgotten about that, but yeah, her name is in the opening credits, so like it's very much her, but it looked like a little, like you said, 11-year-old girl or something like that.
She looked like a baby.
It's just like, oh, and then she doesn't grow to be a big adult either, so she was tiny.
She's a little midgy baby.
Ba, 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 ba. She had one of those faces going on in this movie, which is still weird at that, at this age.
I'm just gonna say you need a specific audience for a Did You Know About Pia Zadora. I don't even know if I'm gonna stoop there every day.
Well, first, I would say to you that you would definitely need to know your audience. What we've already learned over the course of 10 years, you don't. But
hello, I'd like to welcome the new freshman to Huntington High. Did you know Pia Zadora was?
Take this home, put it in your pocket.
But you know the look. If you're looking at somebody and you're like, I bet that person has seen Santa Claus Conquers the Martian. You know the look.
I know the look. I know the look.
Yeah.
One of those.
I'm going to drop that one on Clint McElroy next time I see him.
Nice.
Anna Nicole Smith is kind of our new bombshell in this movie and everything. This was kind of like, this was her moment, man. She was really starting to kind of kick off and get into Hollywood for better or for worse.
Yeah.
And I think they were making a bombshell parallel by having Raquel Welch kind of featured prominently in the end of this, who, by the way, looking great.
Oh, my
She
Lord.
was great in this, yes.
And she is a iconic beauty from old Hollywood, even though it's not really that old when she's there. But you know what I mean. She's an icon, one of the last icons, I'd say.
Yeah,
right there with Farrah Fawcett.
She's up there. And then again, they was like, here's Morgan Fairchild, all these fine women, and I'm just like, my word, what a time they was having over there, boy.
You're going to break a little love off for Mary Lou Retton, aren't you?
Listen,
West Virginia's favorite daughter, Mary Lou Retton.
You want to
got a DUI.
I was going to say until she started drinking.
No, she fits right in that way. I mean, we did have that one lottery winner that was always in the news.
And she's so small, it only takes a thimble of gin to get her going. You know what I'm saying?
No kidding.
She's just like all over the road.
Yeah, the best Tiny Tim in cinematic history.
That was a pretty good one.
But yeah, I thought Anna Nicole Smith was fine for what she's doing. She was never an amazing actress or anything, but she's a good looking lady. She's got enough. It's okay. It's okay. It's not terrible.
It's a mistake. It's a mistake when you already have somebody. You already have somebody on like in your crew in your cast. Priscilla Presley, who is fine in her role. I think that she is. I think she's very serviceable as her role, right? As Jane. But when you have that already, it's a bit of a handicap that you have somebody who has a very specific lane. So why are you bringing in someone else who also can only do so much? And she's she's in it for way more than I remembered her being.
Oh yeah, she's in it a decent bit.
Like I thought she had a sandwich and left. She doesn't. She's in it a lot. And she is terrible. She is awful. I think like I'm kind of surprised. It's almost like they were like, we need, oh man, the best way I can describe it is like this. I can totally see old white people in like the late 80s, like dudes, old white dudes being like, well, you know who's really good looking? That Lonnie Anderson.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
I never quite understood the Lonnie Anderson bit myself.
But and that's what I'm saying with this.
Yeah.
Is that
The
it's kind of the same, it's the same level of like old white dudes, just like, no, that is a lady, like that kind of thing. But when it came to 1994 Sean, I was just, when she shows up on screen, I was like, yeah, she's like in Playboy or something.
Yeah.
Who cares?
No,
And so I'm sorry, go ahead, Bruce.
Another way that I would say, the movie's not really ahead of its time in this. Movies have always done this sort of thing, but Anna Nicole Smith sort of felt like trend chasing a meme.
Yeah.
I mean, especially in 1994, she's almost a meme. You know, I've never been that into like boobs and butts and legs and stuff, but I still think she's pretty.
Yeah, she's a good looking lady.
Yeah, she's
And she seems kind of genuine and innocent because she can't act. So having her, you know, her look versus how she communicates, there's like a disconnect there that I think made her appealing to some people. But if you're going to have her as the femme fatale, the temptress, then she needs to have that more sultry kind of delivery. So I think there are way better options. That you went with that said the same thing.
You could have gone one direction or another, a little bit harder in the paint with her either being dumb or if she could try to play it, you know, like a smarter thing or something like that. Like I said, it doesn't quite land on either one. So yeah, you're right.
I don't know if this quite counts as ironic or just an interesting plot twist, but I'm almost certain in 1994 the discussion was, do we give it to Anna Nicole Smith or Pamela Anderson? Yeah. And now it's interesting with the remake that Pamela Anderson's the one who shines through in that role like nobody but Priscilla's been able to do.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just because I married a 6 foot tall blonde woman at one point. Maybe that's why I like Anna Nicole Smith. It's like, oh, a big old giant lady who's like that. I think she's fine. And again, she's had what a tragic life that poor lady lived. She, it's pretty sad overall. Just it's rough go of it. So I always feel kind of a little sorry for her when I watch stuff like this.
What's the name of the lady that played Mama Fratelli and she was Owen's mama and Throw Mama from the Train?
Oh my God.
I know this. God, chat.
Well, anyway, you know who I'm talking about. And she was, I know she had some health problems, but in 94, I think she would have still been able to work. And I feel like.
And Ramsey, thank you.
Thank you.
Chat got it.
I think they could have just gotten her instead of getting this lady to do a bad parody of her. I think I would have enjoyed if Fred Ward's mother was Mama Fratelli.
It looks like it was definitely an Anne Ramsey written kind of role for sure. And it's like we got little Anne Ramsey on account of
I straight up thought they were just doing a parody of the Fratellis and that Sloth was Frank.
We've got Anne Ramsey at home.
Yeah, Anne Ramsey at home. Sorry. But she was fine for what it was. It's like if you can't get an Anne Ramsey, like that's your second best shot. I'm cool with that. She was fine for what she was doing, and she looked like she could have been Fred Ward's mama. That's fine.
Yeah, I heard they couldn't afford her. They said she works for Scale but tears up craft services. So
she's a menace to the craft table, so we're not going to bring her on board for this project.
Those green olives with the little pimentos in them over there.
I love them
all.
So something that we have to talk about that we touched on briefly at the beginning of the show. So March 18th, 1994, this movie comes out. Then June 1994, a waiter and O.J. Simpson's wife is found murdered. That is 3 months, right? March, April,
give or take.
May, June, 3 months. Let's say 3 months, right? At the time, it seemed like this is going to seem impossible to you, Adam, because you were too young, probably.
Hey, I listen. I remember watching the chase live on TV. So,
it seemed impossible. First, it seemed impossible that OJ had killed somebody because you just knew him. Like I just knew him as Norberg, and the guy who was a football player. I was too young to.
He's
have
in all
seen
the
play
Hertz
live.
commercials and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
Right,
Hertz-
and so he's
the
like
Hertz commercials.
So he's a talking head on NBC Sports at the time, like all of these things, right? And he seems very affable. And then once you learn more and more about it, you're like, oh no, OJ absolutely did it, right? And so and this happens, and he's still got a movie that's in theaters. It's in movie theater. It seems insane, right? Like that is not a thing that would happen now. Like,
yeah, they probably try to pull it or something.
Was Christopher Plummer working in '94? Could they have gotten him in time?
Oh yeah.
Even when you're looking at something like the kid who played the Flash, right? And he had all
Ezra
those
Miller.
allegations, and you have all of these think pieces about how, like, oh, should they release the Flash because you know that he's done all of these things.
Yeah.
Now imagine that times 10 million.
Ezra Miller didn't murder anyone. He might have abused a couple of people, but he never murdered anyone. Let's
There
two
were some
people.
allegations, yes, but they're talking about pulling it then, like with that. So like, but there was no talk of pulling the Naked Gun out of theaters because OJ was accused of killing 2 people.
Shawnee, let me tell you why this happened. Back in the day, we still had P&A. You had to print those things out, and those 35 millimeters was already printed, boy. Today, we don't. We just go like, oh, we don't have to send the digital file out. They already printed those things. By God, they were going to play them.
You are right.
I think Paramount said we'll just wait and see what the verdict is before we make up our mind.
It's like, listen, this trial's going to go on for a couple of years, okay? We can milk the next 3 months out of this, you know?
If the glove had fit, they would have probably pulled it.
Come see the killer. Like, they should, like, re-release some trailers or something like that. The man they said.
The movie's so deadly, you can't handle watching it twice.
They say
But
after
Bruce,
this movie,
you
OJ
do-
killed his wife and
Oh,
later.
I so remember how big
It
a deal
was
that
crazy. It was crazy that this movie was still in theater. It was insane to me.
My junior and senior years of university were all taken up with the OJ trial. This thing went on for like 2 years.
Mhm.
I remember the verdict in my senior year. I'm watching it in my apartment. One of my very good friends is in organic chemistry lab, and he told me to write the verdict on a piece of paper, run over to the lab, and hold it up to the window so he could know what it was.
Oh wow.
Yeah, we didn't have texting or anything back then, so I had to actually run across a busy road to deliver this information.
So all the kids in middle school, like we got the verdict and everything. They did it, like they showed it to us live, which was kind of something else when you think about it. That they showed like 8th graders the O.J. Simpson trial and come out live.
The summer it happened, I was working in new student orientation at Marshall University for incoming freshmen, and that became like a big buzz that everybody wanted to talk about all day during orientation because you have the same conversations with different groups of high school kids every day for like 6 weeks.
All those kids kept screaming, "OJ is innocent. OJ is innocent." Now, even in middle school, I was just like, he was found not guilty. That's different. Like wasn't like even then.
How's
I
he
knew
gonna
better
kill
than
2
everyone
people
else.
all by himself and not even get hurt. He was a football player. I think he could do it. That was the conversation.
Which, by the way, again, I've mentioned it before and I'll mention it again, and all the money goes to the Goldman family. But the O.J. Simpson book, If I Did It, is a scary retelling of exactly what he clearly did in that thing. And, he's just like, I lost some time.
I just can't bring
And
myself
I
to
would
read
never read that.
the guy who they got reading the book sounds just like O.J., so it's even
Oh, my
creepier.
Lord. No,
But
thank
good.
you.
It's good. I liked it. It's just like, oh, this is, I mean, it's a confession. 1,000%.
I wonder. I don't remember anymore. I wonder what he like because they're doing press, right? Oh no, press is it's too late for that. Never mind.
Yeah, because they've been.
Let me
out for a
take
little
that
while.
off the table. Yeah, he wouldn't have been doing press by the point that he's.
I like the idea
usually
that one of the guys shows up at the jail and everything, and just go like, tell me about what Norberg is doing this time.
But there was a thing in this time where there would be a renewed media push a few months later as it was getting ready to hit Blockbuster in the video shelves. They would always
Yeah,
start
but
putting the
Star of
trailers
Naked
again.
Gun 33 and a
You're
third.
right, but you're right about that, Bruce. But this movie wouldn't have been one of those movies.
That's
like-
why I was wondering if that would have affected this movie at all. So apparently it wouldn't have been as much an issue with this.
I mean, it's for tent poles. I don't think that Naked Gun 33 and a third would be considered a tent pole at this point. That's kind of like a let's grab all the cash we can and get the hell out of here kind of movie.
Do you think that
to
Zucker
me, this-
blames OJ for the failings of the fight, the box office of this? Like, this could have been 5 times better if he didn't murder those people.
I think that he's thanking his lucky stars that OJ is in it because this thing had staying power because OJ was in it.
That's probably true.
I think, to me, this feels like the kind of movie that's made with the understanding you're going to get more than 50% of your gross in the home market. This just feels like there was an era where there were things that weren't direct to video, but they felt like, they were made for the home market. And this is one of those.
Yeah.
This is a rental. This is a re-rental. This is one that brings people into Blockbuster to pick it up if you're a fan of this kind of comedy, because this is the kind of thing that you go out to get and you're not going to find by accident. Like some of the tent poles, it's like, do you want to go get this tent pole or watch what other tent poles on CBS this week?
Yeah. All right, well, boys, let's get down to it. We got to rate this bad boy and figure out where it falls on the old Naked Gun trilogy or quadrilogy here now, actually. So, Bruce, what do you got?
I like this movie. I like it more than I should. I'm embarrassed that my biggest laughs were all around Frank at the sperm bank and then coming home and the ice melts on his crotch. I had a good time with all that. So I'm going to give this 4 stars. I think it'd be interesting to see what a young person thought of this. And if it doesn't feel almost like it was made by boomers to make fun of millennials for the purposes of Gen Z's entertainment. Like, it kind of has some of that feel to it. I'm a little off kilter. I know that, but I'm giving it 4 stars.
Well, listen, we're used to it at this point. Sean?
I am giving this movie 2 stars like I did last week with Naked Gun 2.5 for this reason alone. Ann B. Davis is in this movie.
Oh, my God. Yes. What an amazing, quick little cameo. All of a sudden, you see Alice over there watering the lawn, smiling her ass off. God, it's great.
It was such a sight to see, and I was so thankful to know that in 1994 Alice was still alive.
She looks exactly
she
the
looks
same.
the same.
Yes. Beautiful.
She looks
to see
the
something like
same.
that.
Crazy.
And for that reason alone, I'm giving it the exact same 2-star rating. What a lovely moment.
Matt in the chat says, my favorite joke is the prisoner who correctly identifies everyone as Homo sapiens.
My favorite joke is I was as frustrated as a midget at a urinal. No. Like a midget at a urinal. I knew I was going to have to be on my
toes. I like the one where she finds the scratches on his back. She knows he's gone back to work, and he says, no, it's another woman, I swear. When I was watching the Smurfs at 17 years old, my dad knocked on the door. What are you doing in there? Drugs, Dad. It's drugs.
Yeah, you don't want them knowing that you're eating. I've been watching Smurfs. For me, I'm going to go 2.5 based upon like last week's was 3. This is going to roll in the 2.5 area here. Again, it wasn't one of those where I absolutely hated it. It didn't pass the phone test comparatively to the other 2 movies, and that's not a good sign, especially for a movie that's only, an hour, 25 minutes or something?
Yeah.
So that was a little bit of a rough go there.
Yeah.
It needed to be a little bit better. And you understand, say for the OJ stuff, why they wouldn't really be going back to the well too much. It makes a lot of sense that we'd have to go like, let's wait another, 25 years, or get this. So here's what they should have done in the new Naked Gun is reference that Liam Neeson is only like 31 years old, but that's how he looks.
I wish that they had kind of taken Sean's suggestion and sort of made Priscilla Presley and Leslie Nielsen, I apologize there, but made Priscilla Presley and Leslie Nielsen like a modern day Abbott and Costello and just put them in lots of scenarios.
Hey, Abbott, any of that kind of stuff. Well, that is it, everybody. So that's our Naked Gun month has come to an end. 4 Naked Gun movies, all of varying qualities, I would say. I will say this, though. I think ultimately, though, our biggest thing is how shocked we were at how good the new Naked Gun movie actually was.
Yeah, that's the biggest winner this month for me.
Shocking. And the fact that it made as much money as it did means that we're probably going to be seeing a couple more of those.
Also, we reviewed it weekend of release, and it will be available for home viewing soon, if not already. That's crazy.
Oh, my Lord. Yeah, listen, and Hollywood wonders why things are going to pot. Listen, you're the architects of your own demise.
We got to to rush into that home market that notoriously pays nothing.
Yeah, you know how they're really shelling out the ducats over there at the home market. Let's
We
quickly
got to get
them
some
there.
of that Hulu cash.
Put it on Hulu. That's where the kids want it.
Tom Cruise is right about yet another thing.
Man knows a little something
Stop
about
releasing
a little
it
something.
so early.
Well, next week, everybody, starts a brand new month, and that brand new month has 5 whole weeks in it with which we get to watch some movies, and we decided on a theme, and we're going to space, baby. That's right. We are going to space 5 weeks in September, and we are starting it all off with the 25th anniversary of Galaxy Quest.
Wow, that movie's 25 years old.
That is an insane thought. 25
so
years old for this sucker.
So excited for Space Month. I like doing these themes, and I know this is a big one for you, Shanzi.
It is. Shanzi likes spaceships.
We can all pick winners this month if we want to.
And
I think we
arguably,
I think we have.
yeah,
already, right?
we'll discuss all of those in the Dinger Zone after this show for the live folks, and then Dinger Zone for the Patreon folks as well.
They
so
all have merit this year, Bruce. It's not like the last time where it was like
we were all
I
praying.
think this looks good. Like
I'm not going to tell you what my pick is, but it stars Pia Zadora.
Ooh, you say that for Christmas like a good boy. You know what you're doing. Come on now. So we'll be covering that. By the way,
Say Star Crash. Say Star Crash.
Sigourney Weaver's hottest role. I don't know. We'll discuss
Look,
it next week.
We've had this discussion already. Bruce is going to say no, it's Alien, and I'm going to go no. You're right, Adam.
You're gonna watch this movie again, Bruce, and you're gonna be like, you know what? Might be right. So we'll.
And he's getting it done in that movie.
Yep.
It done.
So we'll be hitting all that kind of good stuff next week. In the meantime, Bruce, where we can find more of your work on the internet?
I have been putting a couple TikToks up lately. People want to check that out. There's no real theme to them. It's whatever I feel like doing, mostly doing it to use this gear that I've accumulated over the years and just to have a little fun editing. But, just go check it out. Maybe I'm talking about wrestling. Maybe I'm talking about Happy Gilmore 2. Maybe I'm talking about a local baseball card. You have no idea.
What you're doing, though, is you're getting reps, you're putting in stuff, and you're actually, you're legit editing things and trying to make it look nice and stuff. So, applause to you.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to do it 2 to 7 minutes at a time instead of what I was doing on YouTube.
Oh, hell yeah.
I had a coworker today ask me how much I spent on my gear, my gear for this dumb show. And I already knew, I was like, what sounds like a realistic thing that doesn't make me seem like an insane person? Like, what is that? What is that number? And so I came to the number $1,500, and he literally went, $1,500. And I immediately thought to myself, sir, if you knew how much money I actually spend.
Yeah. It's not all at once, I promise. But it is an irresponsible amount for what I've gotten in return.
Yeah. That's how I feel about every home theater thing. I just kind of go like,
I wrote it all off with the budget of Werewolf Fight.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, you could use that as a tax break. I didn't even think about that. Did you write that whole thing off?
Yeah, but I didn't track my expenses very well, so it was like a $600 budget. Even though it's really more than that.
Bruce is over here rocking
basically
little producers.
rented myself. I just rented myself everything for $600 and called it even.
Wow.
But my next big plan is to try a documentary about the town I grew up in. So we'll see what happens.
Nice, man. That's awesome,
Yeah.
Bruce. Oh, that's awesome, Bruce.
Well, that will do it for this episode of Half-Ass Movie Podcast. Join us next week when we're talking Galaxy Quest from I don't know what year it is. I've totally forgot. It's 25 years ago. For Sweet Shots to go back to the internet, Bruce Leslie, I'm Anna Portress, reminding you to get out there and watch the movies, you dirty babies.